of the community call out with some praise. I want to dish major praise to Mitch for all the behind the scenes governance work that he does to make forum posts and everything, like maintaining the discussion in these forum posts and having these hard conversations is quite the effort, and you do it so well. So major praise goes to you, Mitch, for pushing all those efforts forward. I also want to give praise to Jake for all of our one-on-ones. They have been so productive and so massive for the galaxy, and just keeping me organized and being so patient with me. So thank you so much, Jake, for all your hard work. And of course, I can't give enough praise to Lauren for the work that she's pushing on QF. Just everywhere that she needs to be, she's there to make sure that our QF is running without a hitch. So well done, Lauren. And I'll pass it to you.
Thanks, Griff. Yeah, I want to praise Carlos and Mateo, who are just kind of like whirlwinding, trying to make this optimism donations on Twitter thing happen. I think they're having fun with it, and I want to praise them for all the excellent work that they're doing there. I also want to praise Algene and Stee and Suga for tons of outreach work. They've just been like going crazy on Twitter and Instagram and getting tons of projects to add their projects and get verified. And I want to praise Ashley and Nicola, who've been doing a really great job of kind of like crunch time verifying as many projects as humanly possible in order to get them into the optimism round, as well as monitoring updates and who has an OP address. So we're all ready for Sunday. And I have way more praise to give to all the people working on QF, but I'll type them in the channel and I'll pass it to Mitch.
Thanks. I want to praise Mo and Tossin for getting together and coordinating a lot on the different Giveth design issues, especially on Superfluid. I want to praise Christopher for jumping into Giveth development, helping us push some issues forward and just giving us some much needed big brain full stack developer support that we really, really need. And lastly, I want to praise Danny, Monique, and Mateo for providing some really constructive feedback on the monthly time reporting forum post. I really thought that their feedback was very insightful, and it's hard to speak up when maybe you're like going against the tide. So I really appreciate them just taking the time to respond thoughtfully. And I'll pass it
what
on
about
to
me?
Well, I'll pass it on to Jake.
Cool. Well, today I'm going to do a little play on letters. The first praise for me is Ashley. No wonder all of her events must start with an A, like AMA, ambassadors hangout, etc., because A is for Ashley. That's amazing. Secondly is for Lauren and all of her QF. She's a QF machine. I originally thought QF meant quadratic funding, but it actually means quick moving female. Well done, Lauren, on always doing great job with the QF. And lastly would be Mitch. He's basically the King Midas of Giveth, where everything he's been touching turns to gold right now. So I'm thinking maybe he might be King Mitchus, or is that stretching a little bit too far? And honorable mention would be Danny, or as I'm calling Danny Connect, for all of her hard work on Dev Connect. Passing it on to Danny Bell.
Oh, I feel like you guys got the praise that I wanted to give, but wait, I'm going to scroll back because I also want to praise Mitch. Well, I want to praise Fershell first. I want to praise Fershell for creating that post around Clockify, for being the person who's touching every one of us, touching all of this data and finding ways for us to be better about it. And then I want to praise Mitch for throwing some spicy sauce on that post and bringing things up in ways that really got everybody to get engaged on it and talking about this. And then I'm going to praise Suga and Monique and Griff and Santi and Mateo, because you guys really added a little more hot sauce and then put some cheese and maybe some sour cream and cooled it off a little bit and made this a really tasty thing that to me feels like, by everybody really speaking up, we demonstrated great governance, and I think we're going to come out with something that makes Giveth better and helps us have good data and make good decisions going forward. I'm going to leave it right there, and I'm going to pass it to Suga.
Thanks, Danny. I'm going to take my own special approach today and do some broad strokes. I would like to praise the OPQF team, of course, with Lauren, but so many other folks helping in there, Steve and Serby and Nicola and Ashley and who's on the tip of my tongue? Oh dear, Almond. And also another broad stroke for Meet the Makers, also Almond, and also Ashley, and also Nicola, and more, of course. And the final broad stroke for Dev Connect folks, taking care of that. And I don't know everybody, Heather, Danny, Franco, and more. And all my broad strokes are finished today, and I'll pass it to Almond.
Thanks, Suga. I want to praise Jane for the incredible content that she has been doing for Instagram. Is great. Thanks, Jane. I want to praise our outreach team, Steve, Aljean, Suga, for doing great work messaging projects and bring them to Giveth and to raise our optimism metrics. And I want to praise Ashley for always check how am I doing, for being a great buddy, being very supportive always. And I will pass it. Ashley, did you already went?
Nope, I haven't gone yet. I'll take it. I want to praise everybody that helped out with the Meet the Makers event, Nicola, Almond for hosting, people in the background, Serby for posting messages, and all of you that just showed up to support. I want to praise Nicola for like endless support on this really big verification push and getting all these projects on and updates informed for the QF round and just putting like she's always got my back, and I know that like we can do it now that I have Nicola on my team. And I want to praise Danny for all the work that she's putting into the Give Connect Dev Connect retreat, finding like accommodation and filling out forms and getting everybody a bed and making sure that all that's covered so that when we show up, we can have a great time together. And I will pass it to Heather.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, I want to praise Freshelle for that forum post that she did discussing Clockify and everyone who has voiced their opinions. It's been a very interesting and dynamic read. And I want to praise Nico for all of his work keeping our HR contributor database up to date and current with a bunch of information. And I also want to praise Almond for being an outstanding comms lead and just rolling with whatever comes her way. And I will pass over to Tosin.
Hi everybody. Okay, so I want to praise Mitch for his comments, his feedbacks, and his general overview or overseeing the superfluid integration designs. You've been great. I want to praise Mo for also his comment and contributing to actually improving the UI, the current UIs for the superfluid integration. And I also want to praise Rodri for the great graphics provided towards superfluid integration also. Pass to, let's see. Franco, have you gone?
No, haven't. Thank you, Tosin. Well, first of all, I'd like to praise Danny for taking over the whole Dev Connect accommodation like a rock star. You're championing that. Thank you so much, Danny. I'd like to praise everyone who was commenting and being active in the forum. Like I came back today and I went into the forum. It was like, whoa, it's like so much going on. So yeah, praise everyone for being active there, and special praise for Nicola and Heather who have been helping me just representing Giveth at the Giveth house. They've been doing such a great job, like welcoming people while I was taking some time off. So yeah, I'll pass it over to, let's see, who hasn't gone? We can try Tertius. Do you want to go?
Yeah, happy to go. I'm very new here, although a little familiar with Giveth from Kyle Bestate from Lexdow. So I'll give a little praise to him to introducing me to you guys and for the relationship Lexdow's had. And I guess praise to all of you for the welcoming atmosphere. And I'm not sure who's gone yet, so.
I can pass it for you. Let's throw it over to Donnie Jerry. Donnie, are you around? No? Okay, then let's throw it over to Wonka.
Thanks, Griff. Yeah, I would like to praise Ashley for being here in Colombia. It was great to meet with her. I would also like to praise Septi because I feel that even though that he doesn't join so much these community calls, he's present in most of our heads. And I also want to praise Jake. The fundraising call on Mondays is super special. And I don't know who hasn't gone, but I will pass it to Tassim.
No, Tossin went already, but Algene hasn't. Algene, do you want to take it?
Yes, thanks, Griff. I want to praise Lawrence, T, Suga, Almond, and the rest of the team for working on the Giveth OPQF outreach. I also want to praise Frischel for always answering my questions and being around whenever I need help. I also want to praise Kotabe for organizing a Git and Grind 18 retrospective to see how we can improve on community-oriented grants. And Griff, I'm sorry, but I don't know who to pass it to.
No worries. Let's throw it over to Magenta. It's good to see you, Magenta. Do you have any praise to dish?
Oh my goodness. Praise all of you for getting the QF round up and going. That's super cool. And praise always to Danny, who's been like such a guide and, you know, so much work on the ground to connect Giveth with on the ground communities. And Ashley for helping me navigate my connection issues to get here a little bit earlier than would be normal for you guys today. Thank you.
Nice, thanks, Magenta. And Santi, can you speak? Usually, half the time you can't speak in this one. You got any
Today I
praise?
can speak. Today I can
Yeah.
speak. Thank you. I want to give praise to Heather, Danny Bell, and Monique for all the effort and all the support they're putting for DevConnect organization. I want to give praise to everyone that also shared their opinion on the forum about Clockify, and especially the first post that she sent it. And finally, I want to give praise to everyone involved in the quadratic funding, especially Lauren for leading and everyone involved to just launch. And back to you. I think I'm the last one, Griff.
Yeah, I think Giant Kin snuck in here. But did he sneak out? He snuck out while I was still praising. Oh, good. Smart guy. And actually Donnie's given some praise in the chat, so I'll just say it really quick. That he's given praise to Ashley for such a great call and encouragement, and also praising Steve for all the work, also for all the help and encouragement, and to all of us for putting everything together. Refi is the way. Thank you, Donnie, and I hope you feel better. And thank you all. Let's get this party started. Oh, I'm not sharing screen. Let's start with that. This was praise. Thank you all for enjoying our little praise intro. We always love giving praise at the beginning of calls because it's a great decent ways to like understand what's going on all through the ecosystem in the Giveth's corner of this world, from everyone's individual perspective. But also we distribute give tokens to people who get praised. So if you dish praise in actually in the Discord and you write it down, first you have to \activate, then \praise. Your praise will actually turn into give tokens for people, real money, which is crazy, right? That everyone in the Giveth ecosystem can distribute give tokens just by giving gratitude to each other. So it's really fun. It's our favorite way. It's my favorite way of getting give tokens. So, and I think it's everyone's favorite way of getting give tokens. So don't be shy. Praise 24/7, not just in the community call. And you can do it in any channel in Discord. Welcome to Community Call 182. We have a special change of plans. Actually, the spotlight is going to happen right after announcements this time. So, so Magenta is going to announce Bloom Network, which will be cool. But first, we have some other announcements. Dev Connect is coming. Hopefully, we'll see all of you in Istanbul. Really excited to hang out and have a little unconference in a good directional setting for the Giveth Galaxy. So we're doing planning calls every Wednesday. Optimism QF, update your grants if you have or your projects on Giveth if you have any, and definitely tell everyone you know to get their projects up. They get a free sign up bonus of 25 OP if they just add an OP address and they're a verified project. So that's huge. That's like free money right there. And then of course we have at least a $25,000 matching pool. So that's very exciting. Definitely sign up for Giveth QF. And we're as we've said in the last few rounds, there were some natural disasters in Libya and Morocco that we're fundraising for. If you know any projects that are in Morocco or in Libya that would like some funding from us, we are looking to connect to really cool projects on the ground. And also, of course, feel free to donate and donate on Optimism if you can, for sure. And that's the main thing I want to say is like the Giveth Galaxy is going strong for Retro PGF this month. The voting starts in early November and it lasts a while. So we're really trying to get those stats up there for all the Giveth Galaxy projects. And we have a lot of them. There's actually a Twitter that we manage called Retro PGF. So definitely follow that, engage with that Twitter if you can. Mint your regen score. Regen score is super cool. Oh yeah, so here's the Twitter. Really fun Twitter. Definitely give that a follow and retweets. Regen score. The regen score is super cool. If you want to see, you can mint your regen score. I have a high regen score for sure. It's not, there it is. I'm top 1%. Where are you on the regen score? Check it out. Go to regenscore.io/profile and this is also a huge for the Trusted Seed and the Giveth Galaxy as a whole. You can also create DAOs on Optimism. This is really fun. Give it a try. It's super cheap and super fun to just like mint a token. If you've never created a token before, just try it out. You'd be surprised how easy it is to create your own token on Optimism. And if you want to go extra strong, go into the Optimism Discord and praise the Giveth Galaxy projects for their work. We have, all the praise that's happening in Optimism right now is, of course, coming through a praise organization, and they would love some more diverse praise users. So, as a Galaxy together, we can really we're really making a push to be part of the Optimism ecosystem. And so if we all coordinate together and help each other out, it will go a long way. And with that, we start with our community spotlight. So I don't know, Magenta, I assume you're going to present Bloom Network, and I can let you do a nice introduction. And maybe I'll stop you at the half-hour mark. If you want to go a little long, you can.
Oh no, I'll keep it quick because I have to go on the half-hour mark, unfortunately. But I'll listen to the rest of the call after. I really appreciate hearing where you guys are all at.
Nice. Well, take us away. Tell us what's the latest and greatest of Bloom Network.
Okay, well, we're very excited because we have, it's kind of a manual integration, but we have our flow set up for how local Bloom projects connect with Giveth. So I want to show you what that looks like. We also our smart contracts are done, which basically it's sort of like the milestones process that Giveth had before, and except that it's connected to like a bounty system. So individuals can post an action that they did, and then a local like verifier kind of reviews that, and then they're issued our local token, which like gets them co-op patronage dividends at the end of the year. Anyway, very exciting stuff, and I've upskilled my dev skills to be able to plug that in. We're going to use account abstraction, so because our community is like brand new to Web3, so teaching them how to use a wallet and all that stuff is a big hurdle. And also, we have people reporting who are like farmers in the field on a low bandwidth internet connection, and we can't really ask them to install a specialized browser to be able to use a wallet. So that, you know, advance of the ecosystem really enables us to onboard more of our community so they can access Web3 finance tools and build their own local treasuries. So I want to just show you the Giveth connection here. Get my screen share set up. All right, you see all your lovely faces. So there's an update coming that makes the UI look a little bit more social. This is just my local branch, but you'll be able to see people's posts like more as them, and it looks a little bit more like Twitter, that kind of thing. And then, so this is the live site. It has blogs of the activities that local people are doing. So it's like a social media version of documenting our projects. Eventually, we want to get this wired up so people can push an update to like multiple networks at once. So maybe they can push to Giveth and Bloom and I think it's called Impact Coalition or something, like all in one go, but that's a little bit down the road. But for now, so each local Bloom has its own page that's its own local media feed. So you can see all their local blog posts, their team, and then this section here, which is their key projects. So each local Bloom usually is like a coalition of multiple projects working together in a region. So what we have set up is like the primary way we suggest for people to link to learn about their project is Giveth. So this is a Bloom Hub in Uganda. They're on Giveth now, and it kind of links to their main programs, describes a little bit about them, and then I'm helping them do this because they're like on the field and really cramped for time. So that's kind of one of the roles of Bloom's media team, is to assist with like the media and documentation, while we kind of onboard people to directly interfacing with stuff. So I've been working with someone from Bankless Africa to help figure out how this community can off ramp, which has been another like, you know, multi-community collaboration kind of thing. So each local Bloom hub that has their own page here, they all link over to their Giveth. So there's Diamante Bridge Collective, that same pattern happens there. And then same with Refi Cecilia, which is also a local Bloom hub. So if you look on bloomnetwork.earth, we can go to Diamante Valley. And each of these projects links off to their Giveth page. So, you know, they could link another, if they're on like a Web2 crowdfunding platform, they can link to that as well. But we're trying to teach people to use Web3 tools because it's just like a better setup for the decentralized way they work together. And yeah, I'll end with this is like an example of how you can post an action that we're hooking up the bounty system for token payment. So you can post an action, write its impacts here, upload some proof, and then that will automatically push into our bounty system to get reviewed. And then I'm also collaborating with Bitbecker, who was one of the devs on HyperCerts, so that we automatically push this action up into a HyperCert for like cross ecosystem visibility and more funding opportunities for the local Blooms too. And the last update from Bloom is that we've been working with a professional grant writer who used to work for the National Science Foundation, I believe, in the United States. And she's a climate educator. And so she's been helping, we're like writing normal world grants to help kind of to connect some of her time with the local Blooms to help them up-level their professional documentation of their impact. So collectively, these grassroots communities can access more grant funding, because this work is like the cheapest, most rapidly scalable climate solutions out there, and it's just so underfunded. So that's the problem we're mostly trying to work on. And that's the end of my update.
Wow, incredible. Incredible updates from Bloom Network. This is so cool. Is there anything that we could do to make your life easier on that Giveth integration?
I mean, when we get to the point of trying to wire a way to like push updates to multiple platforms at once, I definitely want to touch base with you guys. I'd say it's been really easy so far. The local blooms, if they're already Web3 savvy, they're immediately doing it. When we do our onboarding training, Meg Rivers has been putting together a training on Web3 for all our people. So it'd be good to touch base with you on that because recommending they set up a profile on Giveth will be one of the things we do. Other than that, it's been so easy, like to post in the guys have that section in the Discord of setting up a new project, and I think Ashley's been moderating that really well. I don't know who else is in there, but we've had like zero hitches. A recommendation around offboarding, like some documentation of that on Giveth, if that's an option for you guys, or like tools that do that, would be helpful to point like some of the communities who are especially in South America and Africa, help them know how they might more easily offboard. That would ease a little bit of the friction.
That's great. And I noticed that I think that one of the first projects you showed us wasn't verified. If it's kind of short notice, but if you get projects verified and they add an Optimism address by this weekend probably, then we can get them in the QF round and they'll get free 25 OP. So I don't know if that's a push you want to make, but we have I can actually DM you onboarding guide for that if that's
Oh,
interesting.
cool. Yeah, I think I'm not aware of the process for getting a project verified, so that would be helpful. Thank you.
It's super easy. All they have to do is make an update, just any update, just like say, hey, QF sounds cool, and then that will get them in.
Sorry, I'm giggling because I know Ashley pays close attention to all that. Magenta, I'm so happy to hear you sharing all of this. And for people who don't know this on the call, I think Bloom Network might be the longest running project on Giveth besides Giveth itself, like having been onboarded into the very first beta program of Trace.
Yep. It's pretty much Bloom Network and Bright ID are the OGs that are still up there.
Yeah.
I think those are the only two.
Amazing.
Aww.
Thank you so much. This is incredible to see how it's come together over all these years. Thank you, Magenta, for all your work and for staying close to what we're doing with Giveth and seeing how we can bring these together to reach more impact projects all around the world.
My pleasure. Yeah, Impact Project support, solidarity to all of you, and deep, deep gratitude. And thank you, Danny Bell, for onboarding us so long ago. You're such a visionary. Thank you.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what you do with account abstraction. That's super cool. But we should keep this party rolling, and I'll bring back the share screen. Thank you so much, Magenta, and really thank you for all you do in the ecosystem. You're definitely one of the rock stars out there that we're so aligned with, trying to get boots on the ground and make real change with crypto. So thank you so much. Yeah, and now back to the regular scheduled programming, which is we start with the communications working group. So do you want to take it away, Almond?
Sure, thanks, Griff. So as you've heard during the beginning of this call, we are about to start Optimism QF soon. So I have some communication resources for you that might be helpful if you have a project or if you just want to share them with someone that has a project. So in the next slide, you will see this guide for donors and projects, in which you will find some details around the round, some details around fraud protection, also how to promote your project for the QF round, and also some tips about how to market your project. So check this guide out. You will find all the details about this Optimism round and more. So that's a great resource to have. Then also for you to have in mind, we will have 3 different gift talks, 3 different X spaces about Optimism QF, one on the 10th, another on the 13th, and another on the 19th. So make sure to not miss those. You will find them announced in the Giveth Twitter very soon, but basically the goal of these Twitter spaces, X spaces, is for you to share about your project and get more donations. And also you will learn a little bit about Giveth and the importance of optimism. So that would be great. Check them out. And remember, as Griff was mentioning, our campaign to give away 25 OP tokens for verified projects adding an optimism address is still active. It's not that we change optimism for this campaign. Both are going to be active. So that's something that you can help us spread the word too. And lastly, something that is super important, if you were part of Epoch 1, remember this round in which Giveth got more than 180,000 in donations. It's going to happen soon. So for you to support Giveth and the Giveth project that are going to be participating in this next epoch, you need to log more than 100 GLM tokens. So the longer you log, the greater your voting power will be. And you have until October 19 to log your GLM. So again, if you participated in the first one, you have an airdrop if you haven't claimed it yet. So you just need to claim it and lock it. And then if you don't have any GLM, you can just go to your favorite DEX and get 100 and then lock it, and then you will be all set to participate from October 19 to November 2 in the allocation window to support your favorite public goods project, including Giveth. So this is super important for you guys to have in mind and do it. And then let's go to Communitas.
Thanks, Almond. As you all know, we have weekly community AMA and orientation calls on Wednesdays. We had one yesterday, and we've been focusing on helping people get onboarded for Optimism QF. We're helping project owners make sure they had their Optimism address. This next week, we'll probably be focusing on helping people donor-wise, getting your passport set up or whatever. So if you need help participating in Optimism QF, stop in, ask any questions you might have. And if you have other questions about Giveth, we'll still answer them. Join us on Wednesday. And updates for this week, the ambassador program, the modules have concluded. So now ambassadors are working to create their videos and begin onboarding their projects and donors. So far we've had 2 verified projects already got on due to the help of ambassadors, and 3 more in the works. So we should be seeing an influx of projects coming in from the ambassador program soon. Meet the Makers. Yesterday we had our October edition of Meet the Makers. It was kind of a small one, but still cool and worth checking out. There's a link here that you can check out yesterday's recording. We'll be having it next. The next one will be November edition on the first Wednesday of every month. We have Giveth Meet the Makers, and yeah, come join us. We could really use some support in spreading the word about this initiative and using the hashtag whenever you might be posting about projects. And just come join us and tell your friends. We'll have bi-weekly retrospective and planning sessions every other Tuesday. So if you want to get involved in the planning and the putting on of this event, join us there. Next, we've got some growth and marketing campaigns that we've been launching. A few posts have been made, so we're still just keep pumping out some more content here, more in the works. Keep an eye out for some more posts behind the scenes at Giveth, donor spotlights, different project progress, milestones, storytelling kind of content. And lastly, as a working group, we're wrapping up our season 1 working group proposal. We're coming already to the end of the 3 months. I can't believe it's already been 3 months. I feel like we just wrote this proposal yesterday, but we're now reviewing the budget info. How did it go? What goals did we meet? All of the data in preparation for our season 2 proposal. Again, we need more community spotlights, like great communities like Bloom Network and Octant and these communities that we're collaborating with across the ecosystem. Bring them in, tell them, like, come tell us about your project. You can add their information to the spreadsheet. Feel free to schedule them. Just make sure to put some information so I know who to expect, whatever, but you can just schedule them in here. Just put them in there. And I think that's all I got for this week. So I will pass it on to the DAP working group. Mitch?
Yeah. Sure. Let's talk about the DAP working group. We have a couple calls. We have a bi-weekly DAP call on Tuesdays. So we just had one this Tuesday. We'll have another one in 2 weeks from then. And that happens at 8 a.m. Mexico time. And we also have weekly issue grooming with the development chapter. That happens every Monday at 8:30 a.m. Mexico time as well. Some short updates. Not a ton of action this week compared to other weeks. The superfluid is basically ready to start development, so that's really great. Just Mo and Tostin are working out some of the final little things here and there, but we can basically start the dev work on it, which is very, very exciting. Multi-sig, most of the development work is done. We just need a couple additional designs to inform the user, okay, what's all this madness going on in the background so that they understand what they need to do. And yeah, the dev work I'd say is 80% done there, so pretty close on that. Christopher joined the crew to help us with the development of Wallet Connect and integrating WAGMI. So right now he's working with Cherik to finish the bugs and make sure that our DApp ends up working well on mobile. Marco and Survi are still working on the homepage improvements. Marco did a first pass on the design. Survi made some comments. And then Mo's also going to be jumping in there as well to help Marco out. Ether Classic integration, Monix started or very close to starting on that as well. So looking forward to some updates on that. And lastly, Cherik is looking into some issues to improve our project navigation process. Hopefully it can be an experience, like going on Amazon and just checking out different projects that you want to donate to and, making it a little bit smoother like that. And that's kind of it. What we're going on. Not a ton this week compared to other weeks, but we're still making a lot of important progress. And that's what's happening. I'll pass it on to Lauren for QF and Give Economy.
Thanks, Mitch. QF and Give Economy calls have restarted. We are meeting again now on Wednesdays at our usual time. It's a 10 a.m. Eastern time. Actually, I think it's 5 p.m. CET. No, 4 p.m. CET. Anyway, that's when we have our call. And it's happening again, for real. Great. QF and Give Economy. We've got a quadratic funding round coming up on October 9th, as you've all heard of in this call and probably in other times because we're blasting it in all our channels. So project owners can still get in the round, although we are kind of getting close to our limit. So we're doing a big push trying to get projects verified, adding updates, adding an Optimism recipient address. There's great resources in here that have been posted in the chat and also linked to in the slides that explains kind of how to do that. We're also looking for people to join the Quadratic Force, like anyone who wants to sponsor the matching pool by donating. You could donate as little as $1,500 and get your face on the banner. Up to $15,000. And we're basically just looking for people to fund the matching pool. And then sponsors will also get to choose projects to go in the round, and then we include it in all of our comms and Twitter shills. So yeah, join the Quadratic Force if you feel like being a large donor to the matching pool. It'll really help our projects out. I'll go back to my slides. Sometimes I just look at Griff's share screen and then I'm like, what's the next one? I don't know. Also, help us test. So we have things up on staging right now, and I could really use some help with some testers. So anybody in the Giveth Galaxy who wants to just kind of test, doing some donations in the round. The round is only enabled right now on Optimism Gorley, and basically you could just donate to any of the projects that are on there, and any kind of issues that you're running into. It'll be great to have a variety of people in a variety of browsers doing different things. Mary Jaff is an amazing tester, but it's also great to help her out and get a few more eyes in there. So if you've got the time today or tomorrow, help us test and reach out to me if you're finding any issues. We're also looking at an integration with Idris to basically allow projects to accept donations through their X or Twitter profile. So it's basically like a browser extension that people can add. And then they can just donate directly to projects. So this seems to be like, it's going to be like our relatively low effort thing on our side, because it's like they've built it all with smart contracts and everything. We basically just need to pull the donation data and add it to our database. And so Mateo and Carlos are working super hard on that. And yeah, I think this is going to be really exciting for creating another avenue where basically projects can raise funds for their projects directly through Twitter. And those donations can also count in the QF rounds that the project is participating. We're going to be coming up soon after that with a Polygon round following the Optimism round in November. So Polygon's going to be onboarding a bunch of projects. You guys have already heard all about that, but we've got a forum post that kind of explains all the details of it, and I'm kind of putting some updates in there as to what's going on. But yeah, we're aiming for mid-November to start this Polygon round, so it'll be kind of hot on the tails of our Optimism QF round. And lastly, in our Give Economy call this week, we talked about like maybe separating, this is kind of like a bomb drop, but I'm going to make a forum post, maybe separating the verified and givebacks thing. So verified is like, yes, you are who you say you are, and givebacks is like, yes, you're a public good. And kind of like changing that a little bit, like it would require a bunch of changes throughout the DApp, so it definitely like needs some input in there, but here's like kind of like your first like teaser as to like, that's a conversation happening. Also, we need to be extending our Give Power rewards, so expect a forum post coming up for that soon, so that all those people who are locking and staking their Give can keep reaping the benefits of being a Give Maxi. That's all I got for the Give Economy Working Group and QF, and I will pass it over to Tossin for design.
Sorry, I was
Awesome.
fighting the mute button there. Okay, so for the design working group, we are almost done with superfluid integration. Basically, we just need to make few minor adjustments, and we're good to go. And then also, we're providing solutions for the multi-sig addresses. So basically, we're trying to find provide increased security for teams and organizations that actually need to manage the assets on projects currently on Giveth. So at least so basically we are trying to find the solutions for projects that have maybe one or two admins, where we are trying to mitigate the risk of somebody accessing crypto holdings without the signature of others. So yeah, we're providing solution for that. We're trying to integrate multiple private keys for other wallets. And then we are also providing solutions for just design issues on the DApp currently, going through trying to improve user workflow all around. And I think basically that's just what we have on the design working group. I'll pass to the next working group.
I think that's me. DAOps. Yeah. We have our governance calls that happen every week. Sorry, that should be 9 a.m. And that just reminded me I need to change that. 9 a.m. Mexico. That'd be 5 p.m. Central European. And we have a bi-weekly sync for the DAO Ops working group that happens Thursdays, 8 a.m. So that's not this week, but next week, Thursdays, 8 a.m. Costa Rica, Mexico, whatever, 4 p.m. Central European. And we got some updates. Big time here. So Q2 vesting is supposed to go out very, very soon. And that forum post has been up for a while. There's a new Clockify workspace that Freshell is building, starting on October 7th. So we're going to start paying for a shared Clockify workspace between General Magic and Giveth, and that'll just make like Freshell and Nico's lives a lot easier, because it automates a lot of the work that they're having to do manually every month. So that's going to be a huge upgrade for them and make their lives a lot better. Offboarding guidelines, we're drafting those in the DAO Ops crew, getting some feedback from others in Giveth as well on that. And as Ashley mentioned, we too are also preparing for our season 2 forum post. I think DAO Ops was maybe the first one up. Maybe Franco had it with rewards. I can't remember. But anyway, October 10th, we are done the first season. So we need to be getting in gear to see what we're going to do for the next season of DAO Ops. And on that note, we're going to be having a special meeting tomorrow to discuss just that. So kind of outside of our regular schedule, we like DAO Ops, people are leaving on meditations and going back to the jungle and stuff. So I want to like get them there before they all peace out. And so, yeah, that's like the notables. There's some forum posts. I see Griff's got them all preloaded there. So contributor time reporting, as mentioned in the praise, this is a spicy one. Asking if we should make Clockify mandatory and should there be penalties or rewards for people who don't or do choose to use Clockify. So again, lots of spice here. If you're looking for some drama today, just go through there, get your fill. Well, there it is. Q2 vesting distribution, as I mentioned, this has been up for almost 2 weeks now, but kind of waiting for this time reporting thing to resolve, which looks like it will at this point, and then I can just send out those vesting rewards from Q2. Improving the Giveth leadership process. So Heather and Nicola worked on a set of documents, a leadership agreement for people who are leading within Giveth, some special review forms, so like a self-review form and a peer review form, more specifically tailored to people who are taking a leadership role to get like better feedback on how they're doing. And so make sure you check those out, leave your comments. We're always looking for some critical feedback in DAO Ops. And the last thing is the forum post that Danny put up. I'm sorry, Danny, I haven't read this, but I think I have the gist of it. So this is our proposal for our budget expectations, etc., for our Giveth Galaxy retreat in Istanbul, and that's going to be coming up in almost exactly 1 month, folks. We're going to be gathering in Istanbul. So Danny's been costing that out, and make sure just to have a look and chime in if you have any opinions. And I think that's all I had loaded in the forum there. Some things to vote on, just one thing. We need to pull out our DAI from idle finance to keep paying the bills. So we put that in there 6 months ago, just to get some cool interest. I think a lot of that was from the Optimism RPGF funds. We made an extra 3K in those 6 months. So that's pretty cool. So we'll need to pull those out to keep paying the bills for what we've already spent in September and what we'll be spending going forward. Last thing, well, token log is the other thing there. If Griff popped it open already, maybe not. No, it's fine. I have it open here on my other screen. I can tell you what's on there. At the top, we have multi-sig compatibility, which is great. We're like, good, perfect. We're already working on it. It's almost done. Second place on the token log, interesting, is project discussions. So people really want to see project discussions. Third place, APIs. Fourth place, interactive product walkthrough for new users. Fifth place is Giveth Pro. And then just trailing down from there, we have the analytics dashboard, GiveFi, updating project pages, etc., etc. So get in there and vote. If you have any Give tokens on Gnosis Chain, you can vote on our feature backlog and help us decide what we should build next on the Giveth DAO. After that, maybe just some quick DSAs, DAO service announcements. Just reminding you guys of the forms, contributor feedback form, giving peer reviews. I know there's quite a few people coming up who are looking for feedback. So just be aware of that. Make sure you spend some time giving them some valuable feedback, okay? Self-review form. If you're having a buddy call come up, give yourself and Giveth as an organization feedback. And if you're having any conflict, use the gravity support request form to have someone help you out and mediate your conflicts if you're having any in the Giveth zone. We're hiring. Are we still hiring? Maybe we have a CTO. Who knows? But there's still some other jobs available. Check out the Recruitee portal for that. And we're also kind of looking for maybe another UX designer to round out the team, and potentially a lead dev for Giveth or a backend developer. Who knows? If you have any hot recommendations, maybe just pass them on to Heather. Time off. Looks like people are mostly back, which is great. Mateo and Carlos are gone on the 30th of October to November 8th. Heather's gone 18 to 29. Bo Shahab's halftime. He's got to change apartments until October 10th. Nicola's out the 16th until November 6th, and Ali Rez is out on October 8th. And I'll pass it on to fundraising. We're running out of time, so I'll just sling it over to Jake.
Yep, and I'll be quick. We meet after spending money all weekend on Mondays. We like to get together and talk about money. Most of the stuff on this slide is reiterations of what's already been said. Focus, retro PGF, check, been spoken about. QF rounds, check, been spoken about. A couple things that haven't been spoken about would be Cello. We did get the KYC submitted. We should see some funding from that pretty soon. And Arbitrum on Gitcoin grants. We had 177 unique donors. Funding and final results for that will be released soon. Our big focus is increasing Gitcoin grant round 19. And then, of course, like everybody said, retro PGF round number 3. That's kind of it for fundraising that hasn't been spoken about already. Let me pass it to Danny and Rewards.
Yeah, I love being the one to wrap this up. And also following you, Jake. Praise to Jake for always bringing fresh and fun praise into the game. What's your love language? Praising me. That's our love language in our culture. We love incentivizing others. We love acknowledging and rewarding each other. In this past year, we have given out 7,267 praises. We have quantified all of those praises for a score of 117,000. This adds up to give tokens that are distributed to all of those people that you've awarded and recognized, like Griff mentioned in the beginning, if all of those folks that you're praising are coming into the system and claiming it. So I think, I'm going to throw a few other things on here. We've got the top 3 gratitude givers for the year. Lauren, always everywhere, seeing everything that's happening and making sure to give that recognition. Lauren's our top gratitude giver, and Jake's coming up right behind that. Jake with the fresh and fun stuff, 10,000. And then for the full year, Freshell is also on our top 3 list. Freshell is one of our great gratitude givers. And for this period, for all of the amazing work she does to gather up information, get it posted where it needs to be, shared out into all of the hands of people. Almond is our top praise receiver for rocking communications. Thanks, Almond. And also in recognition, I want to throw some recognition on here to Franco. When I ran year to date and looked for the highest scored praise, there you were, Cuidado Peligro, for putting so much work into this rewards team, defining the process for distribution. Your praise is the highest recognized for the year, and so it should be, for getting this praise system up, for getting us through this first season of the rewards team. As mentioned by a few other groups, our season is completing, so we're doing a lot of year-to-date analysis. Really want to encourage everybody to do some year-to-date analysis on this reward system and how we support each other and give out these give tokens. If you want to know more, if you want to come play with us, hit up Franco, because we always need a few more people looking through these praise and giving the quantification. We're about to close out September, so if you were a quantifier for the first 2 weeks, please get in there and wrap that up so we can close it. And the second 2 weeks of September is now opening. Votes are coming out to give out those praise, so I'm going to wrap it up there by inviting you all to stay active, keep rewarding each other, and showing that love. I think I'm last here. Back to you, Griff.
Yeah, that's our show. We'll end a couple minutes early and give everyone a chance to do their thing. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Thanks, everyone. Bye.